So I'm going to do this video on TradingView, and we're going to go through how to actually set up your chart and make it clean. So we're going to get rid of all of this mess and all these news events, the stuff we don't need on the chart. So when you open TradingView, this is what your chart will look like. So this is the default. Now you can use this as a free version, but you won't have access to a lot of features. One of them features being the bar replay tool. So you won't be able to go back in time and back test using the bar replay. But the monthly fee, I think it's around $15. So it's cheap and it's a good investment to make because as I said, you get some more features which we need to use really. So also with the free version, you will get ads down here that pop up every few minutes, and then you'll get this. So it's a bit annoying. So I definitely recommend paying and investing in that for your education basically. So let's start off by cleaning this chart up. So what we can do is double tap on the candles or come up to top right and click on chart properties. Then we get chart settings. So let's go through it. So let's start on symbol. So you can change the color candles. So what I have is this blue and gray. Then we can change the borders so we can get make it look cleaner to the eye. So I use black borders, and then the wicks, we can put that on that, just like that. And then the last price line is this blue line here. So that's where current price is. So that's where it's currently trading at. I take that off because I don't really need it on there. So next up, that's it for that page really. We don't need to worry about any of this. Status line, I use a ticker as it's just smaller and clean. I don't need that on. Open, high, low, close, which is these numbers here. You may need that, but I just keep it off. Bar change values, take that off. The buy and sell button, which is this, I don't need that because I'm not trading off of TradingView. I'm just using it for my analysis, so take that off. Indicator titles, I keep this on because I use the inside bar tool and a session range as well, so I'll keep that on. And this, keep that on, and background turn off. Okay, so scales, symbol, last price value, we can leave this page. I don't think we need anything on here. So appearance, now what you can do with background is you can have a solid color, so a solid white, or a gradient. So you can have a mix of blue, but that just looks awful to me, so I just keep it as solid, keep it clean. Now vertical grid lines, you can see these lines in the background, that is just messy, so we can turn that off. If we turn this all the way down to 0 and then horizontal down to 0, you can see it's gone. Okay, so don't need any of this. I have my scale text on 10 just so it's a bit smaller. That's not really that important. Crosshair, so you can see where I'm hovering, you see this line, this is the crosshair. I put mine on a line and I have it so it's a bit light, so it's not really off-putting, so you can see it, you can still see it, but it's not too visible. Okay, so now with top margin, I changed this because what a lot of people do when they're looking at the charts is they will always be doing this, to make it how they want it, which is fine, but I like to just put mine on 23 and this on 23 as well. So you can see now my price chart is already perfect without doing this on the right here. Okay, So we can click auto, and then that's locked to the price chart now. So let's get back to it. So appearance, that's it for that page. Trading, I turn all of this off because I'm not trading. I can keep it on there, but you know, just turn it off, don't need that. Now events, which is this down here, let's just turn it all off because we don't need it on the chart. Okay, and also we have this volume indicator down here. So if we just right click, we can remove that, we don't need it. Okay, so now you can see how clean the chart is looking. This is what we want, you know, easy to look at on the eye. And once we have our chart how we want it, what we can do is come back to here, double click, come down to template, save as, and I need to sign in. But what you can do is, well, once you make an account and sign in, you can click save as, save the template, then you can come back to it, so it's always there for you, which is really, really handy. So now that we've got our chart, and you can see, look, this ad come up again. You know, that's the thing about having the free version. But now we've got a clean chart. Let's start off on the left. So let's make our toolbar, so our favorites bar. Okay. So you can see we have these drawings here. Let's start off with the top one. So I use the dot, and what I like to do is star it. So once you click this star, it will add it to your toolbar, which is here. Okay. So all the ones that you want to use on a day-to-day basis, you can star them, favorite them, so you can get easy access when they show up here. Okay, so I'm going to show you all the ones that I use. So trend line, I use that. You can see it's here. The next one I use is the arrow, and that's it for that one. And then anything on here, I use the fib retracement, and that's it. So you can see they're all showing on here now. So we can move this around. We can right click to hide it, but if we want to keep it on the chart, then we just favorite. I use the brush tool and the highlighter, and the path. So this is when we can draw arrows, you know, several different lines when they stay together, basically. Okay, so the rectangle, I use that as well. I use this, and sometimes use the curve as well, so I'll keep that on there. Okay, now text, I use this one, and the call out text, which is here. And that's it for that. Nothing on here that I use. And I use the long and the short tool. Okay, so this is, you know, if we're going long, we can place this on. I'm sure you will know this by now, but you know, this is where we would enter, and this is our stop loss. So this is, if we was entering here, say, and we look at these numbers, you see it says 0.00232. Just look at these two numbers here, so 2, 3. That means our stop loss is 23 pips, and our target up here is this number, but it's 130 pips, okay? And if we also double tap, we can see inputs, profit level, 1,300 ticks, which is 130 pips, and then 232 ticks, 23 pips. And what we can also do with this is customize it. So I'll show you what I have. So style, stop color, I have this one, and then target is blue, and I think I put it on about 15, and this one 15 as well, just so it's not too visible. And then this line we can take off. And what else? Text we can put on, and then compact, I use that so, you know, it's not too much text. And then once we have that, we can save it. And again, you know, I can't do it because I'm not logged in, but you can save it as a template and then do that again for the short tool, the short position, so it's always there, okay? And also one thing to do is if we right click on price, we can go down to visual order, and let's put a trend line on. We can bring our price chart to the front. So what that means is if we had a long tool, just like this, it will the pricing, like the candles, will show above the drawings, and also we can visual order center back, but it's already at the back. But if we was to bring it to the front, it makes it a bit messy with price. You can't really see it. So just a little tip there. So that's the toolbar. Anything else? Icons? No. Not too much else we need over here. Now let's start on the top left and let's go through timeframes. So you can see if we click on timeframes, what we can do, just like the toolbar, is we can favorite the timeframes we want to trade. So for me, I trade the hourly, the 15, 5, 1 minute, and I do trade the 30-second and 15 as well. So what you can see is once you favorite them, they show here for easy access. So rather than us having to click on the arrow and find them, our timeframes are always here. Okay, so next we have candles. And now we have hollow candles, line chart, but for us, we obviously use candles because that's what we're trading, so we can just keep that as candles. So let's look at indicators. I'm not sure what that is. Let's just go to this. Let me search for, well, we can see I've favorited this indicator here. So whatever you want to use, just search for it and you can favorite them and then click on this and it will show here. I'm not going to do it because I'm not logged into an account, so I can't actually click on it. So, but that's how you search for indicators. Okay, so alerts, again, I can't use it, but this is all pretty easy. You can just click on alerts and you can set an alert at a certain price chart. So you can say you can set an alert here. If price comes up, to tap that alert, you'll get a notification. All easy stuff. Now the replay bar tool is only for the monthly and higher subscription plan, so you can't use it on a free plan. So what this is you can go back in time and back test, you know, whatever you want to look at your strategy. Okay, so next we have layout. So this one here, we can split our chart down the middle and have two different charts on this screen, and then obviously we can have all different ones here, but the one I use sometimes is this one here. And to take a screenshot, we can click take a snapshot, and then we can copy the image URL, which would take a copy of this, and then we can, you know, obviously share that wherever we want. Now what we can do is go through our watch list. So what we can do is just delete all of this off. Click, 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 click. So we don't need all of these. And we can take this off as well, so we can drag that down out of the way. Now if we go to the plus sign and search for a pair, so Euro USD, we have the same pair but all different data. So we have FXCM, Oanda, Forex.com, IDC. Now what I suggest you do is pick one and then use that for all pairs. So I use FXCM for all my free pairs. So I'm going to sign in now. I'm going to sign into my account and search for it again, Euro USD, FXCM. And you'll see it shows here. So let's go for GBP USD, FXCM, add that. and then AUD USD. So same data for all pairs. Now they will show here. Now if you want to add a section, right click on the pair, add section, and then that will show here, and you can name this I don't know, top 3 pairs for the week. So you can have a section here where you may be looking at another pair, say dollar CAD, and you can have it in your top 3 for the week if you wanted to do that. But you know, that's how you do it. Right click and add section. So now that we've gone through that, you can see how clear our charts now look. We haven't got any noise, just price action, and you know, it's all we need. So if we just go through some of these drawings, we have a trend line here. Now when we're drawing trend lines, you know, let's just say, looking at this price action, we broke structure, and we want to say we broke structure here, we want to put the line in on here. So if we hold down command, so I'm holding command now, you can see how it goes to the wick automatically. So you can see, look, I'm holding command and it's moving to the wicks, or if I move up it go to the body. But if I click, so now I've clicked it, I can now hold shift and it will go in a straight line. See, it's in a straight line, and if I'm not holding shift, you know, it's going anywhere. So that's an easy way to make your line straight and perfectly to the wick by holding command. So what we can also do now is, now we have that on there, we can have our different saved, you know, if it's a breaker structure, liquidity, imbalance. So what I've got here is BOSB, which basically means breaker structure on the bottom. So it means BOS and it's shown on the bottom, just like that. So how we make that is have the style you want, whatever that may be. This is what I have. Text, put your text in, and then go down to templates, save as, and then save it for whatever it is. So you can see breaker structure. And I'm just going to say that we took a sell. Let's just say we took a sell here, stop loss above, and once price moved down, we can say we put our stop loss to break even. So I've got one for stop loss, so you can see the line is red. So these are just little things, you know, to make it easy on the chart. So if we now look at rectangle, and let's look at here. So again, if we hold down command, I'm looking at this candle here. So I'm holding down command, and you can see it goes perfectly to the candle wicks without me having to actually do it. So once we have it on the wicks, we can then drag it and, you know, go from there. So just little tricks that you will come to learn as you get more familiar with TradingView, really. Just trying to see the circle. So if we want to make a perfect circle, we can hold down shift. So I'm holding shift, now we can click and it will be a perfect circle. You can see holding down shift, and yeah, that's that. Text, call out, don't really need anything here. This is all self-explanatory really. The fib is the same, we can hold down command, let's go from this high. So you can see it goes from the high and to the low. So I think I've covered everything important about TradingView. If there's anything else that you want to know about TradingView, then you know, you can always message me. But I think I've covered everything you need to know about the charts, toolbar, etc. But yeah, I will speak to you all in my next video.